down here, net profit minus $2,200. What the heck happened there? So for us, if you go up through refund cost, we always calculate it on the profit of your sales because it's just not fair to not include that. So what happened was he had a whole bunch of returns towards the end of December going into January, and then had some January returns that actually declared and actually became a data point for that month. Someone who physically returned a product or put in on Amazon that they were going to return that product. So what happens is this. We sit here and we calculate it that month, knowing that the following month, the month after that, the month after that, month after that, we're going to make it back in sales because those products are all going back on the marketplace anyways. That's one thing you should always make sure that your team is doing, calculating these refund costs into all of your totals. Now, that being said, check it out. We lost $2,000 that month. Obviously, there was no net profit payout on that. The following month, we were still dealing with some of those returns, $240 under. Again, obviously, no, there's not going to be a net split, a fee on that. But look as we pick it up and look as we figure it out. Also, massive difference in sales, right? So this is also, just before I go forward, when you're only doing $16,000 in sales or $12,000 in sales, you are exposing yourself to getting nailed with these returns that can absolutely sink your profits. But look at this. Sometimes this line, look across here, this line stays static. Oh, well, not static. 3,000, that's a crazy month, by the way. That's way out of character for returns. 862, 838, 1,800, 1,700, 1,400. Another big month of $3,000 worth of returns. But wait a minute, let's compare this. We did $3,000 worth of returns in July of 2025 with $62,000 of sales versus $3,200, almost the same number, with only $16,000 in sales. Because so you can imagine the impact that amount of return would have in July versus January when we're 5xing our sales on that. And so guess what? Even with that huge amount of returns, still made $2,037.62. Anyways, the reason I'm doing this is one, transparency. You may have some bumps in the road. We are trying to 100% avoid these kinds of bumps, right? These kinds of bumps, minus $2,200, trying to avoid at all costs. We learned our lesson. But anyone who comes in here and says, it's just going to be peachy keen, everything's going to be super smooth, you're never going to have any issues, they're lying. They're lying. They are lying. Ended up having a big, huge manufacturer recall, as well as these were specifically returns with a Spyderco ASIN that was being targeted with FBM, which means they were able to undercut us. But anyways, we won't get into it. What happens is, and this is why I want people to focus on the long-term value of this, is it just continued to get better. March, $48,000 in sales. And get this. So the difference between January, February, and March was just them saying, I'm going to go from $20,000 base inventory to $75,000 base inventory. So they gave us $75,000 to work with. Boom. Automatically things started doing better. $35,000 in sales, $52,000. But check this out, guys. I don't have a lot of time here because I want to keep these under 5 minutes. Look at December. Nothing changed. He had the exact same amount of inventory. He went from $56,000 in sales in November to $102,000 in December. And this is active. This is as of today. $55,000 halfway, just over halfway through the month. So we're going to probably have another $100,000 a month. But anyways, November of 2025, Q4 rush, he does $56,000 in sales and he retains $4,000 of that. He does $102,000. We double the sales, not quite double, but close to doubling the sales, $56,000 to $102,000. And he goes from $4,000 net profit, $4,658.56 to $16,000 net profit. Now, big difference is this. This number is reflective of a bunch of FBM orders that just popped off, which means we didn't have to actually wait for Amazon to sell the product. We didn't even have the product in hand. We knew it was available, but we sold the listing, collected the money, and then delivered the product in the acceptable window of time that Amazon required for sale and fulfillment. So here we are going through this month to month, seeing huge differences from like a starter store where you can have some bumps in the road, opening up the pocketbook here in March to $48,000, and then seeing the benefits of that. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months from now. And this is why it's important. If you're looking at this video and you are reviewing this video, you are investing. If you're looking at this as January, February, March, you are actually investing in Q3 and Q4 next year. Okay. That's what you are, or this year. You are investing in the Christmas rush right now, because sure, you might start with $20,000 of inventory, and that's a great start. It's a great start, but look, you could have some bumps in the road. You get that up into $75,000 and then bump it to $100,000 in December. Well, actually, he bumped it in October, but anyways, you're going to see massive. And again, guys, great returns. Look at this. Where are we here? ROI percentage. This is on inventory, okay? See this ROI percentage number? This is on inventory. What investment, if you put a $50,000 into it in 1 month, would return 8%? 1 month, 5%, 9%, 4.56%. Nothing is doing this ROI percentage on inventory anywhere else. And oh dear goodness, I'd love to always have December. Obviously, it's not realistic, but these are great when these happen, right? And we should pop off and see a lot of second half FBM sales on this store for the second half of the month, and I'll update you at that time. But regardless, this is what you need to see. You need to see seller board. You need to see live actual results in real time. But thanks so much for hopping on with me, guys, listening to what it is that we're doing. Ecom market is absolutely crushing it, and we look and can't wait. I can't wait to see, these kind of December numbers every other month. Regardless, I hope you have a fantastic day. And guys, keep it real, keep it cash flowing, and let's roll.